RED-40 is an artificial dye that's made from petroleum that's added to food to give it that bright red color, yet in many countries, it's actually banned. That's why for the next 7 days, it's gonna be the only thing that I'm consuming. The dye is very dangerous, with its most common side effects being hyperactivity, allergic reactions, headaches, stomach issues, and difficulty sleeping. To see if it's really as bad as they say, we're gonna keep track of each of these symptoms throughout the week. So let's kick things off by getting some food at Walmart, the only place where I feel like I will not get judged for getting what I'm about to get. And coincidentally, I feel like I'm not gonna be the only one with these things in my cart. All right, RED-40, where are you? I think you're gonna be surprised at how many things actually have RED-40 inside of it. RED-40, RED-40. This feels way too personal, but RED-40. It's a protein snack, it's supposed to be good for you. It's got more dyes than a depressed teenage girl's hair. Yo, what the f are these? Old time reds? We got pink glizzies? Who thinks of making this? You have to be some next level kind of fat, seriously. Do you see my cart right now? I'm gonna look like a parade float by the end of this, although technically I shouldn't. Let me explain the rules and then we'll get to eating. Firstly, I have to eat a minimum of 2,000 calories per day and a maximum of 2,400, which is my maintenance calories. 2, every single food that enters my mouth must contain RED-40. And 3, I'm only allowed to quit if I get all 5 side effects, which is very likely considering what my first meal is. I've never been so hungry yet so grossed out and disgusted to eat in my life. But we gotta start somewhere, right? Breakfast, the most important meal of the day. We got 2 of these pink hot dogs. I don't know which part of the pig this is. One of these Fat Boy sandwiches, which in the top left, they say thick and creamy since 1925. That's quite the accomplishment, I must say. And a nice bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Now, I know what you're wondering. How am I having... There's a bug in my food. That's the least of my problems at this point, but please get out. Now, you know you're probably wondering, how am I having this Fruity Pebbles without any milk? Because last time I checked, God didn't create any red cows, but humans did. Well, they created strawberry milk, which has RED-40 inside of it. So we're using that as our milk because everything I'm consuming has RED-40 in it, including this Gatorade, which I'm going to use to wash down the hot dogs because I'm assuming they are going to taste absolutely awful. I mean, it tastes exactly like a hot dog, which makes me just wonder why the f would you need this to be red then? You're adding chemicals to it for absolutely no reason. It's actually pretty good. I feel like I'm eating a Crayola crayon, not a hot dog. But realistically, these things are added to these drinks and to these foods because they want to get it that bright red color. But I mean, we're all adults here, right? You wouldn't drink this if this was white? What's wrong with being white? Ain't nothing wrong with being a fat boy. Oh no. Fat boys are gonna have to wait. I feel like if I was 10 years old, I'd be having a blast today. But since I'm 24 now, it's just not hitting the same. I actually feel somewhat guilty with each bite, although that may be my eating disorder talking, not the food itself. I don't know. Bro, that's really good. Ooh, meal 1 done. I feel like we bodied that. That was really good, surprisingly. I don't know why I enjoyed it. It's interesting because in so many countries, RED-40 is actually banned, yet it hasn't been in America. However, RFK Jr. is making strides to make that happen, so it's interesting to see how my body's gonna feel after this week, or throughout the week. With a RED-40 only diet, am I gonna be experiencing the symptoms that they say I should? I do feel like this diet is gonna be the equivalent of not smoking a pack of cigarettes, but eating a pack of cigarettes, so we'll have to see how that plays out. With all these chemicals, I feel like I'm Walter White, except for blue meth, it's RED-40. I'm Heisenberger. Walter White. Which, speaking of weight, I need to get moving so I don't put on 95 pounds. I just got back from my walk. I needed to do something that would make me feel a little bit healthy, although with this diet there's really nothing, but it's time to eat again. Keep in mind, the majority of food that I'm gonna be having is gonna be junk food, which means they are significantly lacking in nutrients, so it's gonna be no surprise if I end up feeling super groggy. But we're finally gonna do the Fat Boy alongside some pink donuts and these frosted sugar cookies, all which of course, as we know, have RED-40. And this one I'm sure has some green shit in it too, because it's a green cookie. Let's see how this finally is. I'm really hoping this isn't melted. It's been a few hours now, so. Yo, you gotta be kidding me, bro. It's still melted. I'm just gonna go for it. As if this couldn't get any, like, worse or less appealing. It's just, it's... 3 of these bad boys, which is 210 calories. Finally this, 160 calories. I think the grossest part about this is going to be the combinations of food that I'm having, because they're just, I mean, I had Fruity Pebbles with 2 pink hot dogs earlier. That's just, and now this is just so much sugar. But for now, that puts us at 1,400 calories and almost 200 carbs. I'm a little nervous for this last meal. Who am I kidding? I'm having a blast right now. This is actually so fun. I say that now only 2 meals in, but my god that I have a journey ahead of me that would most certainly make me take back what I said. It is day 7, and I'm about to go to the doctor's. After some more time outside and contemplating why I'm actually doing this, it was time to wrap up day 1. One of my favorite ways to end my nights is to have a whole lot of food and watch a TV show, but tonight, I don't really get that. Instead, I'm having 3 servings of spicy nacho Doritos, 2 Hawaiian Punch juice boxes, and 1 of these Drake's fruit pies. Don't tell Kendrick, but this is really not a whole lot of food. I'll probably go through this in like 10 minutes max. So I'm gonna finish out this night like usual and watch a TV show while having this food. Still gonna try and enjoy it. I think day 1 was a success. I do have one goal for tomorrow though, which I think we'll be able to accomplish. So today, my macros were absolutely awful. Everybody tries to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, but I think I'm gonna do it in reverse. I think I'm gonna lose muscle and gain fat. So with that in mind, my goal for tomorrow is to try and have my protein be a little bit higher. Now I did find a few foods that are high protein and even protein snacks that still had RED-40 in it. So I think we'll be able to accomplish that. I have a really big feeling that tomorrow morning my stomach is going to be sounding like the opening of a Fallout game. Day 1 was as much of a success as it could be with no real symptoms yet. However, surely that'll change as we enter day 2 because we have a ton of RED-40 to still get down. Okay, so saying my stomach was going to be sounding like the opening of a Fallout game, that was pretty accurate, but so far I'm not really feeling any other symptoms or side effects that you would experience from overconsumption of RED-40. Granted, my weight is down for some reason, but I definitely look more watery and bloated. However, today we're switching it up. Like I said yesterday, I want to try and have my protein be a little bit higher, and we're also going to be going to the gym and taking a pre-workout that has RED-40 in it. I want to see how much this diet is going to affect my workout. Will it completely ruin it? That sounds like a rhetorical question, but for now, let's go have some breakfast. Alright, so what's for breakfast today? Well, we have some Ghost protein cereal, 1 serving, and we're gonna pour that strawberry milk inside. Now, I was a little surprised to hear that Ghost cereal had RED-40 inside of it because they're a health brand. Maybe their end goal is to turn me into a ghost. I don't know. However, I do have to say I don't want to bash any of these companies for actually using RED-40. Like, I love Ghost. I'm sure they have their reasonings, and it's not banned in America, so they're allowed to. And then we have some toaster strudels. Something marketed more towards kids, and this is filled with RED-40. Literally filled with RED-40 because the insides are what caused that. But typically it comes with icing, and that's white, so you know me, we're not going to use that. Instead, where is it? I have my own RED-40 to add on top. Let's just dig in so we can get to the gym and see how this food is gonna treat me. I feel like this food might actually fight back. Oh, hell yeah. Literally adding chemicals on top of chemicals. That's a breakfast right there. Oh, that's atrocious looking. That's disgusting. Look at it glistening in the sun. That is just beautiful. Not really at all. That's so good though. This is like something I thought of doing as a 10-year-old. This video is supposed to be a video about why RED-40 is bad, but all I've been saying so far is how much I enjoy it. I've been loving these foods. It's actually great. I feel like I'm 10 years old again. I don't like this cereal. I don't like it. I think it needs more RED-40. I love Ghost, but Kind of has like that artificial taste to it, which I don't like. As I'm doing a Red 40 diet. Crazy. That's a crazy statement. First meal down. Let's get in some pre-workout and then let's get to the gym. We might have a slight issue. So I know I was supposed to be going to the gym right now, but I started sitting down and I got extremely tired and my head started pounding. Now, I don't want to blame this entirely on the Red 40 because the overall quality of food I had has been terrible. Granted, those are the kind of foods that you'd find that has Red 40 inside of it, so it kind of leaves you no choice. However, headaches and migraines are one of the side effects of having Red 40. I don't know, maybe it's a sugar crash and I'm just feeling really tired now and my head is hurting, but I don't feel like going to the gym now, which sucks. I'm gonna go though because I feel like a fat slob, but whether it's the sugar or the Red 40, I definitely have a headache. I got up and took some Advil, which was ironically the only thing that wasn't Red 40 so far, alongside some Rise Ring Pop flavored pre-workout. This was another surprise to see, but again, I'm sure they have their reasonings. However, now it was time to put these chemical calories to use. That was one of the strangest workouts that I've ever had. My focus and overall energy were terrible. Obviously, with the quality of food that I'm having, it's not very nutritious, so I'm not getting many micronutrients. That's probably why I'd feel that fatigue. However, you gotta keep in mind, I'm having a lot of sugars and fast carbs, so my pump was incredible. I've been on a cut, so now that I'm having this influx of carbs, my glycogen is getting filled up and my muscles are looking extremely full, and I'm feeling great. Mentally, I'm feeling bad, but physically, I'm feeling decent. But now post-workout, what am I gonna have? I'm trying to keep that quality a little bit higher today, so what are we gonna go with? Well, this is one that I found to be very interesting. So these are protein Pop-Tarts. Everybody's seen them, legendary foods. They taste decent, very artificial. However, the ingredients are pretty artificial too because they have a ton of dyes inside them. Yellow 5, blue 1, yellow 6, red 40. But I mean, it's keto friendly, so that's good, right? However, it fits, and we're gonna have 2 of them after this workout to get some protein in, and of course some Red 40. At least it looks decent, right? Like eating a piece of cardboard with Red 40 in it. I'm getting a little sick of having sweet things, I've gotta be honest. I think a piece of chicken would do wonders to my body and my brain right now. Oh my God, it's so dry. The only thing I'm really feeling so far still is that headache that I had earlier. So I think we could safely check that off on the symptom list. I just hope that these things don't get worse, and especially anything to do with the stomach, because I have a busy week ahead of me and I cannot afford to be sick. This is the worst time to do this challenge because halfway through the week, I have my girlfriend's college graduation. Then at the end of the week, I have a celebration for my brother's 30th birthday. I genuinely cannot miss either, so I'm really relying on my years of good health to counter out any sickness from the food. Sadly, I don't think that's gonna be the case. Following this workout, I was feeling entirely zapped of energy. It was so bad that I was falling asleep while driving and had to talk just to stay awake. Maybe I pushed too hard with the food that I had, but regardless, I figured the only shot I had at getting some energy back was having a big meal to end the day. This is like the worst I think I've ever felt. If you've ever followed a diet similar to this, which I don't know why you would, then you'd understand. When you have nothing of nutritional value and you're just feeling so lethargic and out of energy, it really takes a toll on you. You end up getting moody, you end up getting angry, it's just the way it goes. Luckily, we have another meal. And I don't even really want to show you guys what it is, but I'm hoping you won't judge me. Have you ever seen on social media the posts where it's like f***ed up looking food and it's something that looks inedible? Yeah, well, that's kind of what I made here. So I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed right now. I have to show you though. I kind of have to. As we all remember, yesterday I had pink hot dogs and they were decent for what they were. But I also picked up at the store some Cheetos mac and cheese. You could see where I'm going with this, but it gets worse. I promise you it gets worse. Whatever you're thinking right now, it gets worse. You need to make this with milk. And the thing is that regular milk doesn't have Red 40 because it's regular, right? So what I did, and it was pretty smart, is I used strawberry milk to make it because that's been like my go-to. Now it's starting to form in your head, right? Yeah, this meal smells like literal vomit. Look at this. I mean, what did I just make? Please, someone help me. This is something where you'd give to an 80-year-old and they would die on the spot after the first bite. Gordon Ramsay would publicly execute me in the front of Hell's Kitchen, and I would thank him for it. Especially since after this, to finish off my calories for the day, I'm going to have a strawberry shortcake Little Debbie roll. Oh boy, I'm gonna dig in. Oh, Christ almighty. I want you to look at this bite. And just remember when you don't subscribe after watching this video, that I'm consuming this for your entertainment. It smells like throw up though, that's the thing, okay. Why do I kind of like this? What's wrong with, well, I kind of enjoy it. That's kind of good. It's spicy. I don't know. That's actually pretty good. Oh my god, that's spicy. Oh my god. Bro, that was an eating challenge in itself. Next, we got a Swiss roll. Oh my god. I feel like I need a few days to process that meal. But I had a goal at the start of day 2, and that was to up my protein. So did I do it? Well, today we had 2,300 calories, 265 grams of carbs, and 111 grams of protein. So while it's nothing crazy, it's a big step up from what we had yesterday. So I'll take it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just worried about my stomach tomorrow morning because there's a 10% chance that I won't wake up with some kind of pain. Unfortunately for me, about literally 3.5 minutes after that meal, I got sick for the rest of the night. I will not elaborate any further, yet this same pain lasted a lot longer than I expected. I have never been so out of energy but struggled so hard to fall asleep in my entire life, and it was even harder to get up this morning. But I'm not going to check that off yet because there are a bunch of factors that could contribute to that, so I'm going to wait and see if my sleep quality is still as bad as it was. What is definite though is my stomach. It is in such pain today, such agony. It has not stopped. I also still have a headache. I don't know what's going on. Time for some food. This amazing breakfast was yet again 2 toaster strudels because they actually taste amazing. Alongside this were 2 Twizzlers, which each of these were 110 calories, which is kind of wild. Then 2 fruit roll-ups. Tons of RED-40, which was supposed to be my fuel for the gym, but yeah, these chemicals, they had other plans. These stomach issues have gotten so bad. I was gonna go to the gym today, but I really don't want to leave my house. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail because I'd probably get demonetized, but it's not good. I think it's truthfully a mixture of obviously the RED-40, but also the quality of the foods. Realistically, the only foods that are gonna have RED-40 are going to be these kinds. So if you are for some reason, which don't, trying to do a RED-40 diet, you're gonna have to eat these kind of foods. It's I seriously, like, it's one of those stomach aches where like you just like you kind of have the chills, you know. Honestly though, this is kind of scary because I'm only on day 3. So what is it gonna look like on day 5? I cannot be sick this week. I have to leave my house. Hoping to feel a bit better, I went to go grab some Tums and I realized, oh, okay, yeah, these have RED-40 in it as well. Great. Truthfully, it felt unavoidable at this point. This diet is going to make me sick. I wasn't even going to record anything because I really am not feeling good, but I figured that I'd be super transparent and just update everybody. I feel awful. I am extremely nauseous, and I am so out of energy the entire day that I feel like I could just fall asleep on the spot. It's so weird because the entire day, I just had no energy, and it felt like if I were to do something, it would drain me too much, and I'd get this super lethargic feeling. I am really feeling the effects of these foods. It's getting me a little nervous. Well, I slept decent, but my stomach is still in pain. I don't think that's gonna go away. And the one thing I'm really noticing is that I'm extremely sick of this food. I'm craving anything salty. It's just all sweets. It feels like my body is just getting weaker every single day. But at least for breakfast, we have a red velvet whoopie pie. That one thing was 500 calories. Now that we got some food down, I'm gonna try and get to the gym. Second time this week. This really opened my eyes to the struggles that some people face when they have a poor diet like mine. These foods are cheaper, so it tends to be all some people eat, where then afterwards they feel absolutely no energy. Eating the way I had been had turned me into the laziest and sickest that I'd ever been. Really, the hardest part of this all is actually doing stuff. Like, I have no energy to even work out right now. My bones feel like they're gonna snap in half with each movement. It's not good. I'm nauseous, I'm bloated, my stomach hurts, it's horrible. Workout sucked and I was in constant physical pain, always feeling groggy and lethargic. By this point, most people would quit, but here's the thing. I'm not most people. I am a lot dumber and willing to go a lot farther if it means getting a decent YouTube video made. Okay, so I woke up nauseous, I woke up with a stomach ache, and I felt like absolute dog shit, but that does not matter because I'm turning into a machine. A machine that runs off RED-40. Essentially, a car, because cars have fuel, which is petroleum, and RED-40 is made from petroleum. But I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. I feel like shit, I've accepted it. I just want to get this food down and move on with my day. Which my day consists of doing absolutely nothing because I have no energy to. So, for breakfast, we have one of these raspberry zingers. I'd never seen these before, but they look like wannabe Twinkies that are red. Then I'm having a whole packet of Nerds. These gummy clusters, which have RED-40 and RED-40 Lake in it. Now, there is a slight difference. Some of these products have had this thing called RED-40 Lake and not directly RED-40, and I believe the only difference is the way it dissolves, so don't worry, it's still horrible for me. Fuck it though, I don't even want to talk. Let's just get this down. 270 calories just like that. So easy. Oh my god. 86 grams of sugar down like that. Kill me! I realize now those calories for those raspberry zingers were for 2 cakes, so gotta eat another one. There, now that's 270 calories. I really feel so nauseous. But luckily, I found a food that is going to switch up all the sweetness later. Honestly, one of the most surprising things I've seen that has RED-40 in it. Take a guess. You're never going to guess it. And it's stranger than hot dogs. Okay, before I eat this next meal, I have to know, is this a safe space? Am I allowed to speak freely here and not get judged? I know you didn't judge me for the hot dog and the Cheeto mac and cheese, but this next meal you might. So fish. Something that is typically healthy, right? Especially salmon. Lots of good fats, some protein. It's overall very good for you. However, that doesn't account for all salmon. Some smoked salmon that you find in the stores, like the one I got, it for some reason has RED-40 in it. Now this was very confusing to me because salmon is typically red and pink anyway, so why would you need to add that RED-40 to it? As a matter of fact, this specific one didn't just have RED-40, but a ton of other dyes as well. We have this smoked salmon, some Doritos, and then another surprise, strawberry applesauce. Another food product that's marketed towards kids, but it has RED-40 in it. Regardless, this is like the only high protein meal that I'm really having, so I'm excited. This is gourmet. And that's probably the highest quality food I've had yet, which is sad. Now this is what I call homeless sushi right here. I mean, it truthfully doesn't look that bad. Looks kind of good. Oh, sucks. What about with some applesauce? Is that, like, crazy to do? I look like the biggest crackhead right now. Honestly, so far, the only side effects that I haven't experienced at all are the hyperactivity and allergic reactions. There's still time left, so I'm not ruling them out quite yet. But the hyperactivity I'm not really understanding at all because for me, this food is making me so lethargic and out of energy that I fall asleep almost immediately. It's having like an adverse effect where like I'm not getting energetic, I'm getting my energy deprived. Unless I get any more side effects, this might be the last time you hear from me until day 7. I hope that's the case, but I'll see you then. I continued pounding down every food that has RED-40 inside of it, which while I did have stomach pains at the event, I was able to watch my girlfriend graduate. Thankfully, it was loud in there so nobody heard the alien sounds coming from my stomach. However, as I kept eating more and more, it felt like I was in the clear. Sure, I was feeling sick, but I was finding ways to manage it, up until quite literally the last day. Alright. It is day 7, and I'm about to go to the doctor's. I woke up this morning and I genuinely considered stopping with this diet. Is it because I'm getting sick and tired of all the food, or because my stomach has been in constant pain? No, it's because I haven't been able to breathe. Over the last few days, I found it really difficult to catch my breath and to even get a full breath in. I've had such a shortness of breath, and it's really taken a toll. I was up till 5 in the morning last night just struggling, and it's not fun. Now, before anything, this could be so many different things. I don't want to directly say it's because of the RED-40 or even any of the food that I ate, but I'm just explaining to you how I feel during the week. Is it coincidence or is it causal? I don't know. The reason I was considering stopping though is because I was reading that you could have an allergic reaction to RED-40 that would cause me to feel this way. Again though, I'm just explaining how I'm feeling. This could very well be anxiety or maybe the lack of exercise I've had or even just the sugar. I don't know. What I do know is that tomorrow's my brother's 30th birthday celebration, so imagine it's this that wipes me out. Last day and I end up suffocating. That would be so sad. It is scary though because RED-40 has been linked to some cancer, so I'm not saying that I'm gonna get cancer from this week, but if you eat this kind of food regularly and involve it in your lifestyle, it's gonna make that cancer more likely. What this week has shown me so far is how important it is to actually follow a good diet. Forget the cancer, forget the breathing, forget all of those things. It's just the way you feel, your energy. I couldn't even get a good workout in. I didn't even want to move this week, and I really didn't. I went to the gym a total of 2 times. I got at most 1,000 steps a day. It was really brutal, and it really took a toll on everything I did. The only positive is, despite all of the lack of movement and all of the atrocious food and more calories than I normally consume, my weight has dropped a really good amount for 1 week. I will show that as long as I'm alive after the doctor, so let's go figure it out. I went to the doctor and she said that my numbers were all good, so it was most likely just anxiety. This was crazy because I've never felt this way in my entire life except for this week on this diet. Luckily enough, we were given one thing. Now, let's finally finish off these calories. Throughout this challenge, I consumed 14,825 calories and 1,092 grams of sugar. The craziest part is, my weight somehow dropped over 3 pounds, although my body definitely does not look any leaner. I did make it to my brother's celebration, but truthfully almost didn't because of my breathing issues, which cleared up right after I went back to a regular diet. So, should RED-40 really be banned? 100%.